Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is Friday, January 24th, and I kind of wanted to do something a little bit different. I honestly don't know if you guys are gonna like it. I hope that you do. So with my full days of eating, I usually, kind of do them as I go, and I'll talk and then I'll kind of show the cooking, the typical full day of eating. But I kind of just wanted to change it up a little bit. And so basically what I did was I already filmed all of my meals, but I kind of just filmed them once they were done pretty much. And I kind of wanted to I'll talk and then show the meal and kind of talk about each one. So it'll be a little bit quicker. And then there will also be some other stuff at the end of the video that doesn't really relate to that. But I thought that might be a fun idea. Let me know what you guys think. If you don't like it, that's cool. I mean, don't be rude, but if you don't like it, that's fine. If you do though, let me know. And I could always throw these kind in because I think, it'll get to the point quicker, and I can actually maybe chat a little bit about why I chose each thing or whatever. So hopefully it's helpful. That's what we're gonna do today, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you are new here, I'm Sydney, by the way. If not, welcome back. Thanks for supporting. Go ahead and drop a thumbs up below to support my channel, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. And also, can we just, so I cropped my Strong by Sydney sweatshirts, which I'll link these. They're still available, so I'll link them in the description box. I have the gray and black, if anybody wants to check them out. But they have this little crop now because I cut it. So they're not sold like this, but you could always buy one and cut it yourself. But I thought it was cute, so I thought I would show you guys. So anyways, with that being said, let's get into this video. So, like I said, it is Friday the 24th. I have a shoot that I'm doing. I'm going to First Form headquarters and doing a little shoot there. So I have been doing a little mini cut this past month. And I might continue it after for a little bit, just because I'm honestly really enjoying it. I kind of like a challenge sometimes, and I have Arnold in March, so we'll see. But for now, what I am doing though is 5 low days and 2 higher days, so basically normal and refeed days. And the day that I filmed was a refeed day, so I just thought I would go ahead and preface that because it is going to be more food than I was eating on the my low days. And I am still pushing my meals back until 11, not for any reason other than that it helps me stick to my macros and my plan more. There's nothing magical about it at all, actually. If you think that sounds absolutely terrible and miserable, don't do it. If you train in the morning and you need some food, please do that. My schedule is pretty well lined up to be able to do that, so that's what I've been doing. It just kind of allows me to have bigger meals, have more calories at night, and I am a nighttime, I like food at night way more than I would say in the morning. I do love breakfast, but I don't care if it's in the morning or not. I just eat it at 11. So with that being said, some of these meals are gonna be pretty bigger, but that's because that's what I enjoy. So let's preface that. So meal number 1 was my oatmeal with vegan protein powder, peanut butter, and then I had my pre-workout and went to the gym. So I will insert that here. That is what I had at around 11. And then I also took my multivitamin, my fish oil, and my hair, skin, and nail supplement. And the macros on that meal were 43 carb, 14 fat, 28 protein. So that was my pre-workout kind of meal. I also had coffee before, but all I put in it was almond milk and some sugar-free vanilla, and that was early in the morning. So that was meal number 1, and the reason that I personally like to choose something like oats, or you know, if it is more of like a lunch type of meal, I'll choose something that is like more fibrous and that's gonna, you know, be a longer lasting energy source, is because when I go into my workout, I don't necessarily want to have, and I used to do this, but for me, I found that whenever I was doing like 3 rice cakes, I would get that like quick energy spike, but I feel like by mid-workout, it was kind of like dying off. So I find that with those oats, if I train about an hour later, it's a very like steady energy that kind of gets me through the workout better without kind of crashing mid-workout. So that helps me. And then so this was a high day, but whenever I am on my lower days, I do still try to prioritize about at least 40 to 50 grams of carbs pre and post workout, even though that means I don't have very many with the rest of my day. Prioritizing my training and my recovery is key, especially, you know, if I want to maintain my muscle mass as I do this mini cut. So that was meal number 1. And if you guys have any questions about anything, let me know. But that was kind of that. Some people don't like to eat fats before their workout. If I give myself an hour, I don't see any negative effects from it. And then I just always try to get about 30 to 40 grams of protein per meal so that I hit my protein goal at the end of the day. So that was the vegan protein. It just tastes really bomb. So that was that. And now we're gonna move on to meal number 2. And also we're gonna ignore the fact that my Christmas tree is still up. But moving on, post-workout, so got home, I think this was at like 2:30 or so. And I had to leave my house at 3. So I knew that I needed like a big meal, but I also wanted like my post-workout. So I had my post-workout shake that I always have, and I made up a little something else. The post-workout like shake is literally just water, 1 scoop Formula 1 chocolate mint cookie. I did like 20 grams of ignition, I believe. And then I did a Joseph's pita flatbread with that buffalo dip that I showed you guys, stuffed that with some lean ground beef that I already had prepped, and then I had a little bit of broccoli, and I cut up an apple and put some cinnamon on it, and that was my post-workout. So the macros for that meal were 47 carb, 8.5 fat, and 40 protein. And again, usually what I would do is have like my post-workout stack and then wait probably 45 minutes to an hour. Whenever I'm in a dieting phase, probably more like an hour just to push it back a little bit, and then eat the other meal. But I was, first of all, starving, second of all, had to leave. And also another side note there, if I would have done it that way, like the other way, ow, that did not feel good. If I would have done it the other way, I would have probably done more ignition and probably had like a rice cake or something too, to be sure I got enough carbs post-workout. But yeah, so the reason being for that meal is, number 1, I love apples. I would say that they're one of the more higher carb fruit, but they do have a high water content, so they personally keep me full for longer than a lot of other fruits do. Maybe that's just me, I don't know. Obviously broccoli, health, micronutrients, fiber. The Joseph's pita breads, I actually love, like, those are my life, especially, I eat them all the time, but especially when I'm in a caloric deficit, because the macros are just so good and the fiber's high, so it keeps me full longer, keeps me satisfied longer. The buffalo dip, just because it's really freaking good. And then the ground beef, I think that people kind of shy away, like in dieting phases and whatnot, from any meat with fatty cuts, but there's nothing, first of all, there's nothing wrong with them. And if you actually are trying to stay satisfied with meals, I would honestly recommend throwing in things like ground beef. It's gonna make you more satisfied, because with like something like lean ground turkey, you're not getting any fat, and fat has a very very satiating effect. So by getting even just like the lean ground beef, I think it has 8 grams of fat, that one per 4 ounces, then that's still going to help you. That meal's gonna last, like sustain you longer. And for me personally, I like that rather than having more things like I will have nut butter like 1 to 2 times a day, but it does take up quite a big chunk of my fat for not a lot of fillingness to me, in my opinion. So that's that. Obviously, it also, like red meat, is gonna help with iron, things like that. But that was meal 2. So now we're gonna move on to my third meal, which was dinner. So that was at 2:30. I ate dinner around like 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and insert the clips from dinner here, okay? So, and hopefully this isn't boring because it's just like meat and food, but we'll see. We'll see what y'all think. I don't know. So dinner was just a little stir fry with some grilled chicken and some sweet potato. Again, here, this is my high day, so I like to eat a lot of food at once. So I saved a lot of my food for these last 2 meals so that I could just like get full and satisfied. Because whenever you are in a dieting phase on those low days, you're pretty much never gonna actually be satisfied or full. So I do like to kind of try to make myself full at a few meals just to kind of give myself that little break. It's really nice for me. So anyways, I did, with the chicken, I just grilled that, obviously cut it, grilled it with some garlic clover seasoning like you guys saw. For the stir fry, I do the zucchini, mushrooms. I did like a superfood blend salad thing. It had like kale, Brussels sprouts, what else did it have in it? Like broccoli slaw. And then I used the G. Hughes sugar-free teriyaki sauce for that. That's kind of, I guess, one tip that I have for anybody who does like volume foods like me. Zucchini, mushrooms, and things like broccoli slaw and cauliflower rice, but cauliflower makes my stomach all weird. Those are great volume foods. You can eat a ton of them for not a lot of calories. That little stir fry itself was like, it was literally like 50 something calories for all of that. And it was like huge, it like took up my whole plate. So that's a good tip. And then I did a bunch of sweet potato. And so I'm about to have to switch though on my like actual deficit days. I'm about to have to swap sweet potato for like butternut squash or something to get more out of it. But I did go ahead and do that. So that was dinner, and yeah, that was, I mean, no other reason other than I got my proteins in, got my veggies in, and some good carbs. You will see that on my high days, my fats are actually a bit lower. So on my lower days, my fats are at 50 grams right now, but on the high days, they do drop to 40 to allow for that higher carb amount. And the carb amount increasing is not only gonna be for like, just because I like carbs, but also it's gonna help with things like performance in the gym, recovery from the gym. It's gonna help kind of upregulate some hormones and whatnot. So that's kind of the reasoning for that. And now moving on to my last little meal. I also had my reds and greens in here. Didn't show those, but I always have those. And so for my last meal, I'm gonna go ahead and show it. But the macros for dinner were 60 carb, 4 fat, 37 protein. So I had my mug cake as well as some fruit and 3 chocolate rice cakes. So again, fats are a little bit lower on this day, so I didn't top the rice cakes with anything, but the chocolate rice cakes are just, in my opinion, really good, just like eat on their own. So I went ahead and had those, some strawberries, and then my mug cake, which you guys have seen so many times. It's just my level 1 protein German chocolate cake, and the mug cake is just unreal. Powdered peanut butter, dark cocoa powder. I have found that that one's better, but I like things really like rich. So sugar-free, fat-free Jell-O mix, that is key to have in the mug cake. I always get messages that are like, I tried it and it came out dry or spongy, and I'm like, did you put the Jell-O in it? And they're like, well, no. And I'm like, well, there's your problem. But yeah, baking soda and almond milk. And then I topped it with a little bit of cookie butter. So that was my last meal. Only reasoning for that one is more of like that's kind of my treat almost meal. And it's still like high protein, good quality protein. So that is, I always just like to end my night with something sweet. No other reason there really, other than something that I really enjoy. And it was high protein macros for that thing, the mug cake and all that. 68 carb, 13 fat, 33 protein. And that concluded my day. You can add up those macros if you want, but I can go ahead and tell you they're not going to apply to you. So yeah, that's kind of that. I don't ever like to, that's why I kind of shy away from sharing them sometimes. It's just because like it doesn't apply to you. And like if you know, take the macro amount that I'm at and you're like, well, she's only eating this much. I've also been in a place where I've been eating like 300 plus carbs a day. So, you know, it just depends on the person, the goal, the current situation. So hopefully that was helpful, enjoyable, I don't know. Let me know if it was. And if you are enjoying this video, just a reminder, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. If you don't, I don't know if I'm gonna continue doing full days of eating like this. I wanna get like some feedback first because I think that I like my other way better. I don't know, but I'm sure I could always like throw in a little bit of both. But yeah, so that's gonna be that part of the video. And then we're gonna have a little chat about CBD here in a second because I've been getting questions on Instagram and I thought it would be a good quick little topic to finish up with. So the reason that I wanted to talk about this is simply because I've been getting questions on Instagram and I wanted to throw something else into this video, and I have been loving the CBD that I've been using for the past few months. So let's jump into it. So I have been using Prism CBD for the past couple of months. And I do 1 full dropper of the mint full spectrum at night and half in the morning. So I think that a lot of people with CBD, there's a few, I would say, misconceptions about it. One would be, sometimes I get asked, like, does it make you high? And no, it does not. THC is the compound that makes you high. It's the one that has like the psychoactive effect. CBD does not have a psychoactive effect, but it still does have a lot of benefits, and I'll kind of talk about some of the ones that I've noticed for myself in a second. And then Prism also does make these gummies, which are really good, and honestly, I'll just kind of like eat them randomly sometimes throughout the day because they taste really good, and I feel like, I mean, why not just have a few throughout the day to kind of help with anxiety and stuff. But yeah, so mainly though, I focus on the full spectrum drop. And another, I would say, misconception with CBD is people think that it works like immediately, and it definitely doesn't. So it did take me, I would say a month of actual every single night use to really start to get the effects of it. And I'm not sure, I'm not saying over here that I'm like an expert on CBD, but I do know that it does like kind of have to build up in your system because, so basically CBD is a part of, well, we have like an endocannabinoid system inside of our bodies, and CBD can kind of help us balance that out. So I do know that it does take time and you do have to kind of let it build up in your system. And that's what I've noticed though, is that at first I didn't really feel much, and then once I kept taking it, I've definitely noticed a difference. And some of the things that I have personally noticed from using Prism CBD for like the past 3 months or so is just my anxiety in general has decreased. And obviously that's not to say that I never have days where I get a little bit anxious and whatnot, but it has definitely decreased. But I think like one of the biggest things for me, even outside of that, is my sleep. So my sleep has improved a lot, and that's something that I have always struggled with. So whenever I stay consistent with this, I just feel like I don't sit there and like my mind doesn't race as much at night, and I actually like fall into a deeper sleep. And I truly do think that this has been a big part of that. And with Prism specifically, one reason that this is the one that I have been using is because, so on their website, they have like a thing where you can go and you can actually look at the lab results for each like individual product. Like you can type in the batch number of the product that you have, and it will actually give you a lab result if you request it, which I love because that just shows like that it is like quality and pure. Because I don't know, I just feel like there could definitely be a lot of lying in CBD companies just because it's such like a trendy thing right now or whatever. So I really, really like that they have that. And I use the mint flavor, but they also have like a chocolate, like mint flavor. They have really good flavors. Let's see what all they have. So they have cinnamon, they have mint, natural, vanilla, orange, and mint chocolate. And they also have like topical like CBD, and they have like CBD for dogs. They have a lot of stuff on their site if you guys do want to check it out. I do have a code for them. So I will put that in the description box with a link to the site. I don't even think that I get commission on the code. I honestly don't know, but I have a code for them because it is what I use, and I asked them if I could get one for you guys. But I will link that if you guys want to go check out what they have. I would recommend the full spectrum drops just because I think that that's what you're going to get like the most bang for your buck with. But yeah, so basically I feel like I just get a lot of questions on it. Kind of wanted to chat on that for a second. If y'all have any other questions, like I said, I'm not like an expert on CBD, but I do know that since I've been taking this for a while, that it has helped me in that area. Now obviously if you don't practice other self-care things on top of it, maybe you're not going to notice the effects, but I think if you're taking care of yourself using this consistently, it can be something that can be really helpful. Oh, and it can also help with like recovery from workouts, decreasing inflammation, decreasing pain, things like that. So that's another big thing that I like about it. But yes, thought I would chat on that for a second, and hopefully that was helpful. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. We'll just keep it to the full day of eating and that little chat. Let me know what videos you guys wanna see. I actually have just a few educational videos that I have planned. I want to do one on like some dieting tips. I want to do one on fat loss. I want to do a couple really good that I think will be really helpful, make it simple for you guys. So those will be coming soon. And as always, I will keep doing full days of eating and whatnot. But if you ever have ideas, let me know. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe below if you enjoyed it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.